Hey there everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now today, once again, we're going back to the kingdom of Enchantia to join up with Princess Sofia. If you guys may recall, during November of 2015, we went over her first mission as Storykeeper in the Secret Library episode, where she, with the help of her Aunt Tilly, was assigned to rescue Minimus's brother, Massimo, from an evil prince. So now, for this episode, we'll get to see what Sofia's second mission is. So, let's get started. Airing on Disney Junior on February 15th, 2016, this is The Secret Library, Olaf and the Tale of Miss Nettle. So, let's begin. When Sofia sets out on mission to stop Miss Nettle from stealing all the beautiful snowdrop flowers from the wintry kingdom of Friesenberg, the wicked fairy puts a curse on Sofia's amulet, which takes away her ability to talk to animals. Along the way, Sofia meets Olaf, the snowman, who helps her learn that she doesn't need the powers of her amulet and can rely on her own bravery and resourcefulness to save the day. So, what are my thoughts on this episode? Well, I thought it was pretty good, and it also displayed a good message of bringing happiness to everybody. But before I get ahead of myself, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, this is the fourth episode to have a wintry setting, the first three being Holiday in Enchantia, Winter's Gift, and Lord of the Rink. Also, this is the fifth time Sofia loses her powers, followed by the Amulet of Avalor, Princess Butterfly, the Curse of Princess Ivy, and Cedric Be Good. But unlike in those episodes, this was because the Amulet of Avalor got messed up by crazy crystals, not because it was removed. Now, what else is there to say? Oh yes, ever since Season 2, the animation is still improved and still very flawless. And since this is Sofia's first time visiting Friesenberg, it looks wonderful, especially with the way the snow looks as well as the animals, including the beautiful snowdrop flowers, which are flowers that can survive in wintry climates. Also, the Friesenberg castle looks very similar to the Arendelle castle from Frozen. Now let's talk about the characters and their voice actors. Our main character and Storykeeper, Princess Sofia, is again voiced by Ariel Winter, who has been in films like Speed Racer from 2008, Mr. Peabody and Sherman from 2014, and of course, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Now, not only has Sofia improved as a princess, but she has improved as a storykeeper. In this episode, it's her job to bring a happy ending to both the people of Friesenberg and to Miss Nettle, even with her amulet all screwed up. Sofia's horse, Minimus, is again voiced by Eric Stonestreet, who will be voicing in the upcoming Secret Life of Pets movie this summer. Now, Minimus is pretty much the same nervous flying horse as he mostly is in the past few episodes. Plus, he doesn't like the cold weather too much. However, this episode is the first time he pulls Sofia's crystalline sleigh. Next we have Princess Hildegard, voiced by Coco Grayson. And she's definitely not like the Hildegard from the Princess and the Pea movie that I blogged last September. Now, in the show, Hildy is Amber's best friend, who started out all proper and poised, and she was also very boastful about being a know-it-all at one time, and mostly had Princess Cleo on her side doing whatever she wanted to do. But, like Amber, Hildegard has improved and has become nicer and friendlier, and in this episode is no exception. I mean, yes, she and her father want the Winter Flower Festival to happen, but without snowdrops, they'll have to cancel it. She even mentions that the snowdrop is the very first flower everyone in Friesenberg learns to draw, and they even use them for many events like weddings and other things. Next up is Miss Nettle, voiced by Megan Mullally, who recently voiced Jonathan's mom, Linda, in Hotel Transylvania 2. Now, it's about time I get to talk about her. 3 years ago, when we first saw Miss Nettle on the show, she starts out as a friendly, enchanted gardening teacher who was also an apprentice to the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. However, she was only trying to steal their spell book, but luckily she was outsmarted by Sofia with some help from her brother James and their friend Desmond. Later, in Season 2, she tried to steal Sofia's amulet by attending the enchanted feast, disguised as a sorceress named Sasha. Not only that, but she also messed up Cedric's wand by sprinkling crazy crystals on it, and had a talking rose named Rosie cover the whole castle with vines. Now in this episode, she is seen stealing snowdrops, but in reality, she was the one who created said snowdrops until the Friesenberg gardener took them from her enchanted greenhouse, as said in her song, My Finest Flower. And unlike the last two songs she sang on the show, this one isn't very villainous. In fact, it's very sympathetic. So you could say that Miss Nettle has a good side to her, and all she wanted was some appreciation. Next is our guest star, Olaf, from Disney's Frozen, once again voiced by Josh Gad, who was in the hardcore video game sci-fi comedy Pixels. And I hear there's some good and bad news about him. Good news is that he's going to be in the live-action Beauty and the Beast remake next year. Bad news, he's going to be in the Angry Birds movie this summer. Anyway, Olaf is the 5th Disney Princess film sidekick to appear on the show. Not to mention that he's still very lovable, and I'll never forget the time when I gave him a warm hug at California Adventure last year. Plus, his introduction to Sofia goes pretty much the same as when he met Anna, Kristoff, and Sven. Now, I'll bet you guys are wondering why Sofia's amulet summoned him. Well, it's because of Miss Nettle's crazy crystals. And since he mentions that he was with Princess Anna, it's probably possible that Anna was supposed to be summoned to help Sofia. Anyway, Olaf does make a great supporting character, and he does advise Sofia to use kindness and love, and in order to hopefully reform Miss Nettle, as opposed to defeating her. I also find it pretty funny that he calls Minimus a reindeer, and it's also cute that Hildegard would want a snowman like him. Lastly, we have Hildegard's father, King Henrik, voiced by Mick Wingard. Now, this episode is where Henrik makes his debut in the show. In my eyes, even though he had his gardener take the snowdrops from Miss Nettle's greenhouse, the most memorable thing he does, after Sofia tells him the facts, is thank Miss Nettle for creating the snowdrops, and have his subjects honor her by naming the flowers Nettle Drops from now on. And now it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, Olaf and the Tale of Miss Nettle is another great episode to watch on Sofia's show. The animation is beautiful, the characters from Sofia, Miss Nettle, even Olaf are memorable, and the message is completely spot on. If you guys want to watch this episode for yourselves, either go to YouTube or go to this link listed here. And I do pray that this episode gets a DVD release, and that Anna and Elsa will appear on the show someday soon. As for my final rating, I give this episode a full 100%. So, be sure to join me next time, because I'll be taking you guys to a city where anyone can beat anything. Mustang power!